It's time now for Countywide, a special presentation of Yavapai Broadcasting News. Join Paul David and Kyle Benedict as they talk with our community's leaders, newsmakers, and people in the know. You'll hear about the hot topics that affect all our lives in Yavapai County. And now here's today's Countywide.
Welcome to Countywide. I'm Paul David. As always, it is great to have you in studio with us today. Barbara Uran, Cotton Meadow Creek School Superintendent here. Welcome to the studio.
Oh, thank you again for having me. It's always a pleasure.
I saw that you are retiring.
I am.
Abandoning the world.
Well,
to do whatever it is you want to do.
We'll see how much of an abandonment it is.
Right. But you get to retire.
I do.
And just before we turn the camera on, I was telling Barbara, I said, a lot of folks that I've dealt with for many years now, I've been here for about 20 years, are retiring now. So it's like they're all kind of just leaving me behind.
You won't be that far behind us.
So anyways, okay, so tell us about this retirement thing that's going on with you.
Well, pretty excited.
Okay.
I've been with the district for 34 years.
Wow, okay.
And I cannot think of a better career or a better community to work for. We can talk about that later.
Sure.
But the time comes when you realize that it's going to be time for transition and new things for myself and also new things for the district. So within that, I've been planning for this for the last couple of years and really saying, okay, when I do leave the district, I want to leave with as much enthusiasm and as much love of this job as I have now and the day that I leave. Mm-hmm. I don't ever want to leave and say, thank goodness I'm out of here, because that's just not where I'm at.
Right.
So I still love the job. I still wake up every day excited about the possibilities of what we can do and the difference we can make for kids. And knowing that, the governing board allowed me to hire an assistant superintendent 2 years ago.
We've met him. He's been in studio.
Yes, he has. A great guy, Mr. Steve King. Mm-hmm. And really hired him because I thought, this might be the person who has the right fit, the right compassion, the right energy and vision for the district for the next level. And he has proved to be so. And you're kind of sitting there and you're working with him, all of a sudden you go, it's time. It's time to let this person step in, take the lead, and let me move out, supporting the district in any way that I can, but let it grow to another level too. So I'm pretty excited about that prospect, and I'm excited about my opportunities to do some different things. I really hope to, and I'm planning on having a little more time for myself, my family,
sure.
Some of the things I love to do, but also working in education in a different capacity. I'm looking forward to working with new superintendents, new principals, new leadership, and helping support them. So I've got a couple of things out there that I'm starting to look at. I'm a trainer for a research company called McCrell that trains leaders and teachers. So I'll be continuing to do training throughout Arizona and possibly other places as well.
So you won't be limited to Verde Valley. You'll be all over the state.
I will be living in the Verde Valley.
But not limited to.
That's
in
correct.
Terms of,
That's correct.
Yeah, helping folks out. So you'll be all over the state.
So I'm pretty excited.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So what does that job entail?
Well, the training for McCrell there's two different training. Well, there's a number of them that I do, but one of them is called Balanced Leadership.
Okay.
And that is a training to really help principals, superintendents, district leadership, school leadership teams really determine how best to support the vision of their school, and knowing that one person can't do it themselves. And how do we manage change? How do we find our focus of where we want to go? And how do we build that purposeful community so that we're all going in the same direction?
Okay.
So some great trainings are going on there. Also, classroom instruction that works. That is really geared for teachers and looking at a framework for teaching that puts teachers on the same capability of choosing strategies that can maximize student learning and know when to apply those strategies during their lesson and which ones work best at different sections of their lessons. Okay. So right now I'm doing that training with two of my colleagues in the Verde Valley, Karen Ward from Beaver Creek and Nancy Alexander from Sedona.
Okay.
So it's been a great journey, and we continue to do that, and looking forward to doing some more of that too.
Neat. Okay. So Steve King. Okay. Is it confirmed now?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes, at
All right.
our
So
last
what's the
governing
good news for
board.
him then?
Well, the good news for him is he is what I consider somewhat inheriting a district that is extremely stable. It has a strong governing board that's visionary, that still is working to provide the best opportunities we can for our children, choices for our families. He's inheriting a staff of teachers who really are spectacular. It's a lifestyle. Any teacher is a lifestyle. Great teachers, and we seem to attract great teachers, and they choose to work in Cottonwood Oak Creek School District. It's not always the easiest population to work with. A lot of our children come with a lot of challenges, but our teachers really choose that population. So they are doing the good work. Each day, they open those doors, they build those relationships, positive relationships, and really take each child where they're at and rejoice in that and say, how do I help this child grow to the next level? They continuously look for professional development to help enhance their skills. So that's the other thing that Mr. King will inherit. Then wrapping that, when I knew I was coming in here, I kind of went back and did a memory walk yesterday when I was going through some of my files.
I'm glad you did.
Yeah. Well, some different things that I found. One of the things I found, and this was, to me, was the greatest thing of what I think Mr. King is going to inherit. And this was a vision for education of our youth that I did, oh my gosh, it had to have been 10, 15 years ago. And simply put, it was linking schools and communities for the benefit of the community's youth and for the benefit of the community's future. And that is what this community has done. They have embraced Cottonwood Oak Creek School District and the education of its youth and really do whatever they can to help support that education. So you put those three things together, and Steve, for me, is walking into just a perfect situation where he will be supported and able to learn the ropes. And he knows the culture. He has built relationships. He's got strong relationships right now within our community. And so I only see that progressing and gaining strength and gaining momentum with the community to offer more things for our students here in our community. So
Would you say that the folks of the Verde Valley are very interested in what's going on in their school districts?
Oh, yes.
I mean, I've been places where it doesn't seem quite as serious, but down here, in Cottonwood especially,
Yep.
if there's something going on, there are a lot of parents involved. A lot of voices are heard.
There are.
Yeah.
And it's not just parents. We have a lot of advocates for public education.
Mm-hmm. I
And
guess that's true, yeah.
It is, where, and they're out there speaking the good words on supporting schools. They get frustrated when the state doesn't support or stand up like they should.
Mm-hmm.
But you think about what this district has done with the support of the community. We have been able to, and I thank the community every morning I wake up, that we've been able to pass an override which allows music, PE, smaller class sizes, a number of ancillary things that we just don't have the funding to do.
Things that we had when we were in school.
That's right.
And those are the things that have been cut and cut and cut.
That's right.
Yeah.
But the community has supported that since the early 90s. It has not been a tax increase, but they realize the importance of that.
Sure.
And they've supported it overwhelmingly. Then recently we had the capital bond. Our community supported that. So we were able to put those funds, and we limited the amount of funds we used. We didn't ask the community for the total amount, but we put those funds into making sure that our buildings were safe, efficient, and that they're going to be there for 20 years for community use and to take care of the students that we have. So I can't say enough about this community. If we ask, they're there, they help. If our leadership or principals ask, they're there, they help.
They definitely step up, that's for sure. We got to take a break, okay?
Okay.
Cottonwood Oak Creek School Superintendent Barbara Uren in studio today. Stick around. Countywide will be back in just a couple minutes.
my boy Matt had it good. He had catnip that was off the hook. But one day, he brings a girl home, and she's allergic to cats. Every sneeze was a nail in my coffin. Now I'm in a shelter. It's decent, but they don't even have Wi-Fi.
I'm Jenny Garth, and as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. Even though we are one of the most food-rich countries in the world, 15 million children don't know where their next meal is coming from. This is unacceptable, and something the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks is working to solve. Instead of accepting that our country lets billions of pounds of surplus food go to waste every year, Feeding America has made it their mission to help families in need by rescuing this food. Through food pantries and meal programs, the nationwide network of food banks provides more than 3 billion meals, serving virtually every community in the United States, including yours. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank by visiting feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
Welcome back to Countywide. Cottonwood Oak Creek School Superintendent Barbara Uren in studio today. We're talking about her retirement. We found out that you are going to retire. We don't know when yet, but we're going to get to that. And then Steve King is taking over for you, which is great. Did the board know you were kind of honing Steve to?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it was the goal, wasn't it?
Yes, it really was.
Get somebody kind of in the seat and see if they're going to fit, and then.
You know, one of the things, again, about the district, we've only had 3 superintendents since the early 90s.
Right.
And
right.
you really think about that stability, that lens, and that continuity. And this board wanted a very seamless transition, thus the direction to me to start looking for an assistant superintendent. So we've been working on a transition plan for a couple of years now, making sure that when the time was right, pieces were in place to move forward.
Very good. So when does Barbara cut that cord and off you go?
Barbara cuts that cord June 31st.
June 31st, okay.
And then Mr. King will take over July 1st, 2017.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it works well right now to have it set up like this because we're coming into the spring season, and that's when we start planning for the new school year.
Sure.
You know, wait until June, you start doing it now. So that will really give Mr. King that ability to say, okay, how do I start planning for that new school year? All the things that happen, the staffing, the funding, the program, if there's any program changes.
Right.
But it allows him to get really into that and have me there as a support. But I want to kind of take that back seat a little bit more. You know, I'm taking more and more of that back seat and giving more and more of those responsibilities to Mr. King. And it's a great way for him to get in there and say, okay, that worked or that didn't work. What's my next step? And I
think a lot of us are like that, though. I mean, anytime you're learning something, the hands-on always works better for me. If I'm sitting there watching someone do it, I don't pick up much of that.
Right.
You know, you got to be willing to step in there and get your hands dirty and see what works and what doesn't work.
Yep, you've got to take a risk.
Yeah, you've got to do that.
Ready to fall down, pick yourself back up, and it's all going to be okay.
Let's go back in time. Barbara, you ran 30. What did you say? Your career, 34 years.
34 years.
34 years. What even made you? Because I had never even thought about that job as being a teacher. I couldn't handle a classroom of kids. But what made you decide that I'm going to be a teacher? That's what I want to be.
Both of my parents were teachers.
Okay.
And so as a young child, they couldn't find a babysitter for me.
Okay.
So I sat in my mother's classroom at Kyrene School District when it was just a very old one building out in the in the farming area. And then my father taught 8th grade there. And so I would jump from classroom to classroom. My father was a master storyteller. He taught 8th grade and then went to Scottsdale High School. And Mr. Uren was always the one you wanted for your history classes because he would go into character and he would teach their story.
No kidding, huh?
And so they were both inspirations to me. And my house back in Scottsdale, we had a little track house, great little neighborhood, but old air conditioning unit that sat outside, and I'd set my classroom up and
Oh,
bring the
there's your
neighborhood
desk, huh?
kids in, and I'd be their teacher. And so
Okay, I can see that. Okay, that's great.
that was always in me. And when I raised the girls, I decided it was time for me to start going back to school.
Uh-huh.
And so I started going up to NAU, and I got my teaching degree. Started teaching and continued on with my administrative.
Where'd you start teaching?
Over at Oak Creek.
Okay.
I was first
Cornville.
hired. Yes,
Okay.
I was first hired at Cottonwood in the district as a special education aide
Okay.
to take care of one student, and that was at the district office building when we were still serving children in that building.
Okay.
And then I was transferred over to Oak Creek School in Cornville to help with their special education, and then took the librarian technician position there, got my degree, and started teaching first grade. I never thought I'd do first grade, but when the...
Why? Why?
Well, because I always worked with the older kids.
Okay,
I
okay.
coached them, and then when Mr. Osborne, great principal, great inspiration, great mentor, he said, I have a first grade position. And I said, I can do that.
I'll take it.
And
take
so
those
I
kids.
did, loved it, and I taught 5th grade, 6th grade, so a number of grades, and then came over to Dr. Daniel Bright as a
So you've been
I've been,
Cottonwood Oak Creek School District since the beginning of your career. Oh, for the whole thing.
yes,
Oh, okay.
yes,
I did not know that.
yes.
I figured, most people, they move in, they move out, they different areas, but you have actually been here since the
I
beginning.
have.
Well, not the beginning, but 34 years. I mean,
Sometimes it feels like that.
right. But that's not what I meant. But your whole career, 34 years, you've seen the district change considerably. That's why I wanted to get you in, because you can kind of take us back in time a little bit and tell us what it was like. So, Oak Creek School, was it built?
Oh, Cornville.
It was
yes,
there.
Yes,
Okay.
Oak Creek School's a very old school.
Okay.
It's original, oh my gosh, back in the 1800s. And there's still a little small cement slab right across from where the school stands now, where the
Oh,
original
okay.
red schoolhouse sat.
Oh, I'll be darned.
And I can remember the Gerdners who had property down there, and we're a ranching family. But I can remember him telling me about being in the swings, and as boys, they're always rowdy. They'd wait till the girls got in the swing. When the girls got in the swing, they'd find all the tumbleweeds and throw the tumbleweeds into the girls.
All right.
So things don't change,
Right. No. Why would boys change?
No, but things all stay the same.
So what about administration? I mean, that's kind of is that a big jump from teaching students to going into administration, and now you're kind of teaching parents and teachers and everybody.
It was a big jump. What happens when you do that, there's kind of two things that happen. First, you leave that family of your classroom, and you become very attached to that family of your classroom. And you get to know your kids and your parents. You form really strong bonds with them. So leaving that is always difficult for somebody that leaves the classroom because you miss that.
Sure,
you
I
miss
imagine
that
so.
day-to-day interaction. But as you go into administration, what you start realizing is that you're still a teacher. Your classroom just looks different. My classroom now consists of about 300 employees, or actually more, because I'm still looking at them of what are their needs, how do I best meet their needs. I don't always do it well. I try to each day. But really looking at how do we build, I used to call it the golden circle in my classroom. And if a child didn't feel like they were part of that golden circle, I wasn't doing my job.
Okay.
And so as a district administrator, as a principal, same thing. I wanted to make sure that we built a golden circle and that everybody is included in that golden circle. It gets more difficult as you move up, I guess, and I don't really like the term moving up because I need the best teachers in that classroom. I need
Sure.
my very best there. So I can't say enough for the teacher who's been teaching 34 years and still strong and smiling and loves those kids. But as an administrator, you want to make sure that you're still looking at them as your classroom and that every decision that we make as an administrator, I used to put a chair next to me and the chair would be empty, but I'd pretend that Sally was in that chair or Jose was in that chair. But all those decisions that we make, which don't seem to impact children, they do. So really paying attention that I have to remember every decision has to be kid-focused and centered on children, or else we're not doing our job. And not everybody agrees when you make those decisions. You know, we all come from things from a different perspective. So my perspective, you may say, well, that's not really in the best interests of children. And we understand that. So we try to find where's that compromise as we move forward. But that's really what's the change? The change is your classroom is much larger now.
Okay, so we have to take another break.
Okay.
Barbara Uren, Little Creek School District Superintendent in Studio Day. Stick around, countywide, back in just a couple minutes.
It's your home, it's your dream. Radon testing, keep it healthy and clean. Make it green, green, green.
Making it green is making sure the air in your home is healthy for your family to breathe. Make sure you test your home for the presence of radon. It's easy. To learn more, call 866-730-GREEN. Preserve your family's health and well-being. Get your home tested. Now that's living healthy and green.
Green, green, green. It's your home, it's your dream. Radon testing, keep it healthy and clean. Make it green, green, green.
To learn more, call 866-730-GREEN.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
Welcome back to Countywide. We've got just a couple minutes left of the program. We're going to ask Barbara here. You're going to retire June 31st. Mm-hmm. What do you see as some of the bigger challenges coming up for administrators down the road?
The biggest challenge that this state and nationwide will be facing is teacher shortage. Okay. We're in a crisis right now. Our district, along with pretty much every district in the state of Arizona, has a number of teachers that are long-term subs. They can't find qualified teachers. The pipeline at the universities is drying up, so we're not even educating as many prospective teachers as we used to.
Is this a pay thing where teachers just aren't being paid enough?
I think there's three.
Makes it not very attractive?
I think there's three pieces.
Okay.
Pay is absolutely one.
Okay.
Fair pay for fair work, and they work. You know, you can say, oh, well, they're only on 9 months, or they only go to school from 8 to
30 kids a day.
Yes,
oh,
and
right
it is a lifestyle.
Uh-huh.
Truly, I can remember you do not stop thinking about how best to teach that classroom. And you go to school during the summertime usually, mm-hmm. because you're either working your master's or your next level. So pay, the accountability system, shame and blame, that it's teacher's fault, school fault, that you're not where you're supposed to be. You have a very unequitable system. You have many challenges with the children that we have. We love each child that comes in. The children come in oftentimes with baggage. So not only am I teaching you, but I'm helping you just be a happy student.
Right.
Be smiling, be in the seat, be happy. So there's a lot of challenges we face. But again, I think we can rise above that. I think we're looking at how do we even start inspiring our own students right here to become teachers. It's a great job. There is no better job than being a classroom teacher. You are the educator of the future. What more could somebody talk about humbling and talk about something that makes a difference, what greater thing than to be a teacher?
We're out of time.
Okay.
Oh, congratulations on
Well, thank
retirement. Enjoy.
And thanks to this great community.
Yeah.
And the teachers
really.
that we have.
That comes up so often in the shows, too. So it truly is the case. So that is today's Countywide. Thank you so much for watching and listening, and we will talk to you again next time.